How you doing, Sag? Let's get right into this. Sagittarius, messages for Sagittarius. Universe. Messages for Sagittarius. There you are. There you are. First card out, this is you, the Empress. Could be a mother. Or you could be nurturing something, developing something in particular, and nurturing it into existence. The Empress is usually depicted as the mother of the tarot. The Fool in reverse. This is someone impulsive. This is your signifier, the issue. Can be making impulsive decisions, maybe not going towards something actually because you made an impulsive decision before in the past. So you're holding yourself back from something because possibly you have no faith in it, you no longer want to go towards it, and you feel like you made a bad judgment and a bad leap of faith that didn't pan out in the past. So perhaps, you know, you're trying to be more cognizant and careful of the people you have around you, which is a good thing. You're protecting yours, the things that you need to do, your resources, you know, your kingdom. Now, foundation. The cause of your situation, your physical and emotional needs, plus your subconscious desires. This is a 10 of clubs in reverse. This is dropping the burden. This is being responsible for everything and everyone, carrying more of a load than you should and you would like to. A lot of times this is carrying the load of others. And you're figuring now it's time to put your energy and your effort and your fortitude in more, you know, more productive means, more productive and positive channels, because whatever you had in the past that you're no longer going towards, all it did was bring you a lot of burden. The past, what is behind you, your creative talents and abilities, 8 of clubs. This is communication. This is movement. This is action. This is like passionate back and forth, passionate movement, fast forward, future forward, all of that. This is messages back and forth, can be email, text, you know, it can be calls back and forth. Maybe you were someone reached out to you from the past, someone you felt like it was a mistake, and someone who was a burden, but you felt attached to in some way. Perhaps they reached out to you. Perhaps you even decided to deal with it again in the past. Maybe this has been a couple of go-rounds, but ultimately you want to learn by experience, and you know it's too much of an issue to even bother with. I mean, it doesn't really get you anywhere. There's no positives in this, and there's no benefit for you, so you're dropping it. Oh, it's like, great, you gave me messages, great. You want to tell me, like, I'm hot, great, give me a call, yeah, whatever, but where does it ever lead to? Is it beneficial? What did you gain from this whole experience except a lot of wasted time and effort, and burden, extra burden that's not even yours? All because somebody is enthusiastic to going towards you doesn't mean you have to open up the door and let them in, especially if they kind of took you for granted or in advantage of you in the past. Your goals, your conscious awareness, the best that can be accomplished at present. That's the Four of Clubs. This is a stable foundation. You want a stability. You want a stable foundation. You want a strong foundation where people feel secure, where you feel secure. And you don't feel like in danger or in lack or a bunch of drama. You just want everything cool and copacetic and on task and planned, stability, happiness, comfort, trust, mutual trust. And that's really what a good foundation is, because you don't have relationship with trust if you don't know each other's intentions, and especially if they've always just come out in and out for like a good time. I don't know, excuse the euphemism, but your future, what is just before you, the devil. Maybe you're going to meet a Capricorn, possibly. Maybe you've been dealing with a Capricorn. Maybe a Capricorn's going to come towards you. Maybe it's some kind of toxic attachment. Maybe this situation that you've been talking to in the past or has been reaching out to you has some kind of toxic element, some kind of addiction, codependency. It can be dealing with somebody with addiction. An addiction can be anything. Be drugs, alcohol, social media, television, working out, dieting, eating junk food, sex, pornography, attention, toxic people. Those are all addictions. These are all toxic ties. This could also be considered passion. This is someone who can, keeps a lot of friends all over the place, a lot of buddies that whenever he's in town or around that area or bored, he could reach out to and, get his dose of attention. Or maybe, this can be a cycle or a habit of yours. Like some toxic element of being addicted to a toxic situation, toxic people, unavailable people, or control, to try to control another person into getting what you want instead of being okay with what you have, or trying to get it from someone who can offer it to you. I don't know, it can be anything, and it's different stuff for different people. I'm not gonna lie. But maybe this is where a lot of your impulsive decisions came from the past, or came up with in the past. It was like maybe you have, you get bored and, like maybe you go ahead and, seek certain situations or certain kind of people, because it's kind of like a toxic draw to them. It breaks up the monotony for you. Maybe idle hands is the devil's work. But this was whatever tie or enmeshment. It was an enmeshment built on passion. And it was in the past. It was a bad decision. Now, your goals is that you want stability, with or without this person, or you want stability in the long haul. You want somebody that you could build a home with. You want, but maybe it's this want that kind of gets you tricked and gets you caught up, because maybe somebody comes in and they say all the right things and they offer you all this kind of stuff, but maybe it's kind of like it's more like future faking or pillow talk, but it's a relationship built on passion. And it's like, yeah, we're buddies, we're friends, we knew each other for years, we kept in touch, but it's like FOBs, like friends with benefits, but of course you would never know if he had a steady girlfriend wherever he was at. You know what I mean? But that's why, like, maybe this is kind of unhealthy patterns or situations that kind of, it brings about, like throwing you off balance and dismantling your stability. And maybe now you're just kind of starting to see that you can't make a hoe into a housewife, right? And if you want stability, you can't make it with unstable people. And perhaps if you need and want a stable person, perhaps it's good to mirror the qualities of what a stable person would have, and that's not with keeping a bunch of toxic attachments that, to validate you or feed your ego in some way, or keep channels open for people to do that to you, because all it ever brings you was a bad decision and a burden that you feel like you gotta drop. Now, your environment. So this is your environment, your home, your surroundings, family, loves, friends, work, that which is outside of yourself, and how others perceive you. This is the devil. This is your, this is your future, the devil, yeah. Mercury retrograde is coming back around. I believe that's on the 27th of September, and it ends sometime in the middle of October. Perhaps somebody will come and reach out to you. Perhaps somebody started to reach out to you. Maybe maybe 8 weeks ago. I don't know, or maybe this is someone you dealt with 8 months ago or 8 weeks ago. I'm not sure. You haven't heard from them for that long. But if they do reach out to you, it's Mercury retrograde, so I wouldn't entertain a lot of people from the past right at the beginning of retrograde, because a lot of times it's not to rekindle a past relationship. It's kind of to replay out a karmic cycle that, that wasn't yet learned, or, or like, the lesson wasn't quite seeped in and there's still leftover karma for you guys to like play out. So Sometimes the universe will draw you back together for another round of it because it wasn't quite expelled last time. Sometimes you need to do a couple of practice breakups before you're like kind of really done with it. And it just brings up so much drama that you understand that the only way to have stability is to get rid of the toxicity, and if a person's toxic, you're going to have a toxic situation. That's just the way it is. How you see yourself, your personal strengths and weaknesses, and individual perspective of you. So how you see yourself is the Five of Clubs. You feel like you're being ganged up on. You feel like you're being like attacked or competed with. You feel like there's a bunch of people around you or situations around you that you're not really sure if they're looking out for your best interest. You feel like some people kind of unconsciously joust with you or compete with you, or possibly even talk a lot of crap behind your back. Oh, sorry. There's some situations where there's like, you feel like you can't say your piece, like things are happening in the background, a lot of back and forth, a lot of crap talking, you know, a lot of competition. You feel like people are trying to compete with you, and maybe you're feeling some passive aggressiveness towards the environment that you're in or the people that you're around, whatever state that you're in, like you're the Empress. And perhaps there's a sense of kind of like a jealousy around, or competition around, or, you know, maybe there's some sense that, you know, you need to protect yourself because you feel ganged up on, or you feel like you have to compete in some way or protect yourself, and people around you is just not for your best interest. It's high conflict, high drama, like you're in a drama with a lot of people involved, and you know, it's not good stuff. It's due to control, you know, like people who are addicted to drama or dramatic people or situations, like people who gossip, and you know, it's like, why does everything have to be a competition, you know? Because maybe they feel like you don't deserve what you have, or, and I don't know, maybe a sense of jealousy is around you, that surrounds you. But you feel like you can't, you feel stuck in some way, you feel oppressed in some way, like there's a wall that you're having trouble getting through, and maybe it's your own like limiting beliefs of like fear and anxiety, and you know, it's like a doubt, could be a self-doubt or a fear of failure, you know, that kind of blocks you. But you have everything that you need, and whatever fear of abandonment even, I don't know, or fear of failure. Maybe you wanted to go towards something, that you're working on something, if it is like a business situation, like your own business, or you feel like you're having self-doubt, and you feel like you're having trouble breaking like a ceiling. You know, maybe there's a lot of responsibilities, maybe there's shit that always needs to be done. Maybe it's like to find the time to be able to put into it without a bunch of ton of other crap that you have to do, and especially dramatic people around that add to your plate, and you don't want to do that, like you're cutting out the fat. Because the Empress, you know, they they're the Empress. They're no, they're no dummies. Like, they're the queen of the queens. Like, they're smart, they're educated. They have all of the qualities of all of the queens, and they evaluate what to nurture and what to drop. What's a good investment, what isn't. If whatever I nurture is going to grow into a poison plant and kill me and my family, then maybe I shouldn't plant that. I don't know. Or, if you're going to use that, if that even, But, how do you see yourself? You're trying to protect yourself. You have a lot of high conflict and high drama people, and you don't want to deal with it because you always feel like you're on the losing end and you feel ganged up on. And if it feels like a job, being around a certain kind of people, it's really not worth investing a whole lot of time and energy into it. And you learn that, and you don't want to carry that because these people always got problems. They always got problems. They always got, toxic boyfriend problems, toxic job problems. I mean, we all got those problems, but it's like, it's like, if there's not a problem, they would make a problem. And by seeking out problematic people that they know that there's a problem, just to continue to have problems. And maybe there's an element of that towards your cycle as well. I don't know, because maybe the high drama, it takes your mind away from the things from having to focus on yourself. It's like trying to not be alone, trying to not live with the silence, trying to find something to break up the monotony because there's a certain fear of silence. Now, your environment. Your home, your surroundings, family, loves, friends, work, that which is outside of yourself, and how others perceive you as the Chariot. This is going towards or away from something, and I feel like it is a moving away. You're moving away from drama, things that held you up, things that sucked up all of your time and energy and gave a lot of other people's responsibilities on your shoulder. And you feel like you're standing up from yourself, and other people see you as moving away and moving towards something else because maybe you saw some of that cycle. Maybe the stability of a stable home became more important than the distraction, the toxic distraction, which I think is always a more important priority, right? Especially when you have peace is when you could kind of fine-tune yourself and your situation to make little improvements on it day by day, whether it is just resting or cleaning up or fixing things or investing in time and energy in that business. And instead of trying to avoid your issues by playing out toxic dramas for fear of failure or a need of control. And now you're standing up for yourself. You're not dealing with it, and people see you as moving away. Your hopes and fears of attaining the goal, the lesson to be learned blocking your development is the 10 of coins. Okay, so you're hoping for tangible stability. You're hoping to build a a family business, a long-term wealth, a stable home, and maybe it's not even just about greed, but it's about building a steady foundation and possibly even a business that will lead you into long-term wealth. But why is this? This is a hope. But why is this a fear? As well, the 10 of coins. Maybe a fear of failure. Maybe a fear of success, because it's like, people can not only fear failure, you'd be surprised that people will fear success as well. Because maybe it's that unconscious feeling that what if you don't get what you need or feel fulfilled even when you achieve what you set out to achieve, and you still feel kind of unfulfilled? Maybe that success is that a fear of success is the fear of having to be fully responsible for everything that you do throughout the day. And maybe the whole idea of it can be an extra burden, can be heavy. It's like, even if you look at the man in the middle, he is on his throne, and he has his family around him, and he has what he needs, but look at him, he looks all worn and tired and like overburdened, weary. Maybe it's the fear that you would achieve the thing that you feared is, maybe you fear that the thing that you think is unattainable becomes attainable and you will still be unfulfilled. And maybe that's the fear, or the fear of wanting something so much, and that has so much potential that you feel that you could build off of, that makes you happy, and you go all towards it and you don't succeed. But I feel that the only thing that's holding you back from making yourself a success at your goal, or is yourself, your own fears and anxiety and your own ego, the fear of failure, fear of success, fears of not being good enough, or so maybe you find yourself being caught up with a lot of distractions, and you're not doing what you want to do and what that you should be doing, even if you want to do it. And maybe it's a need to change your mindset, because it's pretty much the only thing that's keeping you away from generational wealth. You know what a thing, your niche, your thing, your direction, your Rahu, your North Node, your path in life, you know that it's the direction that you want to go. When you feel balanced and stable going towards it, does it bring you joy trying to achieve it? And does the situation bring you joy? Not just striving to meet that goal, but also the act of doing it. And do you feel less tense and stressed out when you actually apply yourself into actually doing it, because it's like that call of the universe, like pushing you to do what you're supposed to do. And it's like your own thoughts and fears that's holding you back from doing it. But once you get a momentum, it will bring you amazing stability and balance and generational wealth. And it only became possible because you started standing up for yourself. You started to break away from control factors, controlling people, and you moved towards your success and your own balance that's not dependent on other people, especially people that want to throw you off balance. And because whoever this was, they brought a lot of instability and to your life. When you have the temperance right up, you're coming out of a situation that lacked balance, that lacked stability, that maybe even someone who emotionally manipulated you, who you couldn't do your day-to-day duties, that it kept you off of your own responsibilities, the things that should be important. And, you know, it's a change of mindset that's needed, and to release the toxicity and that fear of failure and fear of success. What's underneath? 2 of Clubs. This is expansion. This is like, you know, to merging businesses, merging situations. This is collaborating. And this is collaborating to expand. This is also trying to build something. You know, be careful that you're not putting all of your energy into one area and overworking, that you ignore the other area. It's important when you expand on a certain thing is to not burn yourself out on one thing, and try to equally contribute the energy expelled while you're trying to build and expand on whatever you're working on. You know, I feel like once you get into that state, you're gonna meet even, you know, like you're gonna meet somebody really special. But you're only gonna do that when you're already in balance, by working on the things that you need. And because we attract what we are, and if you're out of balance, you're going to bring an unbalanced person. Now, pull some advice for you, Sag. Advice from Spirit. Advice from Spirit. Clean 3 more cards. Whoa. There was a card that flew out. That was on the floor. Rust. That's crazy. Now, okay, perhaps Spirit has been trying to send you messages in your dream. Perhaps your body is trying to send you messages that you're overworking, certain aches and pains that you've been ignoring. And it's important not to overwork and to take rest periods when you need it. to be, and not to jump into anything like that's too emotionally taxing until you're fully healed and regenerated, because whatever last couple seconds is that I mean, those last couple cycles that you went through, it was really taxing, you know. Whatever situation that you're breaking yourself from, this was a huge cycle in your life that's kind of beginning, you know. But you're getting intuitive nudges from spirit. Listen to your angel numbers if you see repeating numbers. There will be a renewal in your energy and kind of your faith and your confidence. The message coming in about regeneration, about healing, a message that will be really healing. In particular, this can be messages from spirit. This can be spiritual insight, and perhaps in your dreams that you're getting some kind of intuitive nudges. And it would be helpful to pay attention to that. If you remember any dream upon awakening, go ahead and jot it down. What messages that you're getting intuitively is that the more you heal, the more the new life that is set out for you will unfold. And the things that was holding you back from your new life, your new paradigm, your healing, your regeneration, was possibly your own toxic habits, and maybe the need for toxic attention, or filling up your time with, when you're idle, with toxic habits. And whatever toxicity or toxic people, and I feel like a lot of it was toxic relationships. It can be more, but mainly these people that put doubt and undermines your confidence and makes you feel like you're lacking in some way, but that's not true. You're not lacking. You are brilliant and talented and insightful. You know, you're a philosopher. You know, you're close with spirit, but, you know, it's like people around you that have kind of a toxic control over keeping you in a more beneficial placement for them. And whether it affected you in a bad way or not, maybe this can be needing to drop toxic beliefs about yourself and not being enough or good enough. And look at that, clean it up, cut out the fat. You know, maybe it's negative thinking and negative self-talk and negative belief about yourself. And, you know, catastrophe thinking, or thinking of, you know, it's just negative self-talk. Pay attention to your breath. If you're feeling anxious, take time out to take deep breaths. Maybe there's a sense of anxiety and a need for meditation and to plan out things a little better within your time, so you're not kind of like all over the place and, you know, doing everything last minute. And because, you know, it's like you have to bring in more organization, sometimes it takes a stepping away and adopting a new structure, or to kind of streamline everything that needs to be done and make a more organized household. Take time to breathe and meditate. There's divine timing at work. And this was a holding period for you, so you can get back your sense of balance and your sense of stability, and also focus on your goals and business ventures. It was like universe came and took a stopwatch and allowed you to get centered and also focus on the direction that you want your new life to go towards, which will ultimately lead you to great things. It's important to trust in spirit and not let your anxiety get the best of you, and not overworked in one area. Take time out when needed, and meditation, because you have amazing things ahead of you. But it's you needing to break your own, that glass ceiling that you kind of built above you to kind of keep you in the placement that they consciously or unconsciously put you in. But yeah, don't overwork yourself while you're going towards it, but be intentional about how much time you're going to put into it every day. And a little a day would be enough, and it's better than doing nothing in a day, or doing it all day and night and not getting a good balance in work, because you want to get organized to make a stable household on top of being able to achieve your life goals without throwing that totally off balance into one area to the next, or totally avoiding it because of fear or anxiety. But that's what I got for you, Saggy. Much love and light to you. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Donation box below if you feel moved to. And sometimes I leave extra notes on the end. You know, if I channel, in the caption if I channel anything new. But yeah, I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.